I'm going to discuss another technique. In short form, it is called as ELISA. Stands for Enzyme Linked Immunosorbent Assay, which is also a sensitive assay, but compared to radioimmunoassay, it is not as sensitive as radioimmunoassay, but much more sensitive than other immunoassays. Here, for this technique, there is the need of enzyme linked antibodies. Enzymes are conjugated to the antibody using indicator label technique, which I had explained in a separate presentation how indicator labeling of the antibody is done. That is by using biotin streptavidin molecules, and streptavidin acts as a carrier for the enzyme which is coupled to the enzyme, and streptavidin gets attracted to biotin, and biotin has strong affinity to Fc arm of the antibody. This is how the enzyme is linked to the antibody molecule, and antibody becomes indicator labeled antibody. The indicator here is an enzyme. The enzymes that are commonly used for the ELISA are alkaline phosphatase, and this enzyme uses the substrate that is para-nitrophenyl phosphate. When it reacts on the substrate para-nitrophenyl phosphate, it will cleave off the phosphate group and produce a yellow colored solution which contains para-nitrophenol. It is the indicator that the reaction has taken place, and the yellow color can be measured by using colorimeter or spectrophotometer at 420 nanometers. Then the second enzyme that is commonly used to label the antibody is beta galactosidase of bacterial origin, and the substrate used for this enzyme is XGAL, and the full form of the substrate is 5-bromo-4-chloro-3-indolyl beta galactopyranoside. On reacting with the enzyme, this substrate produces the blue colored solution, and the blue colored can be measured at 620 nanometers in colorimeter or spectrophotometer. The third enzyme most commonly used is horseradish peroxidase, and the most common substrate used for this enzyme is orthophenylene diamine. There are many other substrates. Some of them are very expensive, and very commonly used substrate is orthophenylene diamine, which is colorless, and together with that hydrogen peroxide is used. The horseradish peroxidase reacts on hydrogen peroxide and cleaves the hydrogen peroxide and produces the oxygen. The molecular oxygen released due to the action of the horseradish peroxidase will react with orthophenylene diamine and oxidizes that into brown colored complex, and the brown color can be measured at 540 nanometers. So these three common enzymes which are generally used for labeling the antibodies are found in different types of kits that are produced for the detection of antigen or the antibody by adopting ELISA technique. The ELISA can be performed in different ways. One, direct ELISA. Second, indirect ELISA. Third, sandwich ELISA. And fourth, competitive ELISA. We will see how the indirect ELISA is performed. For this technique, the antigen is immobilized on the inert surface of a container, and the corresponding antibody to be detected in the patient's serum is supposed to be added to this container. The antigen is already immobilized on the surface of the inert container, and then to that you add the patient's serum suspected to be containing antibody against that antigen. After incubation, sufficient wash is given. If the antibody is present in the patient's serum corresponding to that antigen, it will form the complex with the antigen, which is immobilized. FAB site of the antibodies will bind to the antigen and will remain as stable complex. Once again, give a wash and remove the excess of serum, and if there are excess of antibodies, they are also washed off. To this sample now, you add anti-antibody which is labeled with enzyme. The anti-antibody could be IgE antibody raised in an animal, or it could be an antibody, monoclonal antibody produced by hybridoma technology but linked with the enzyme. So anti-antibody, when you add, corresponding antibody, if it is present attached to the antigen, this anti-antibody will bind to that antibody and form a stable complex. The enzyme labeled antibody will form a stable complex with the antibody of the patient's serum, which is already bound to the antigen. Now once again give a thorough wash and add the substrate. Substrate corresponding to that enzyme. If you had used alkaline phosphatase labeled antibody, secondary antibody, you are supposed to add the substrate para-nitrophenol phosphate. If you had used the secondary antibody labeled with beta-galactosidase, the substrate supposed to be added here is X-gal. If the secondary antibody was labeled with horseradish peroxidase, then the substrate to be added here is orthophenylene diamine plus hydrogen peroxide. The labeled antibody, if it is bound to the patient's serum antibody, which is already bound to the immobilized antigen, then the solution will become colored. That indicates that the antibody of the patient's serum was bound to the antigen, and the secondary antibody added against that primary antibody of the patient's serum is immobilized. It is now formed a conjugate there. This indicates that against a particular antigen, the patient is producing the antibody. One can detect the antibody in the patient's serum by using this technique, and hence it is called as indirect ELISA. In the another technique where sandwich ELISA is performed, where the protein A coated container is used the inner surface of the container is coated with protein A. To that, unlabeled antibody is added, or one can add patient serum suspected to be having the antibody. The patient serum, if it contains the antibody corresponding to a particular antigen that you are detecting, the antibody will get immobilized by anchoring its FCR onto the surface of the container because it is already coated with protein A. And protein A attracts the FCR of the antibody. Let us presume the patient serum contains the antibody, it gets immobilized. Now, the excess of serum is washed off using saline, and after thorough washing, corresponding to that antibody, the antigen is added. The antigen added, you are using it for detection of the antibody. So, when you add the antigen, if the corresponding antibody is already immobilized on the inert surface, it will go and bind to the FAB arm of the antibody. Depending on the number of antibodies that are immobilized there, and depending on the number of FAB sites available, the antigen molecules will bind them. Then once again, give a thorough wash through this complex. The antigen-antibody complex formed is stable at a given pH. After the wash, now to that sample you add the enzyme labeled antibody corresponding to that antigen. The enzyme labeled antibody could be a secondary antibody raised in an animal against that antigen. If the antigen is immobilized, means it is bound to the FAB site of the antibody of the patient serum. This secondary antibody will recognize the antigen and bind to that antigen because it was raised against the antigen. Here, the antigen will be sandwiched between the primary antibody of the patient serum and the secondary antibody against the antigen. Once again, give a wash to this complex. After the wash, you add the respective substrate depending on which enzyme labeled antibody was used. As I mentioned earlier, if alkaline phosphatase labeled antibody was used, para-nitrophenol phosphate is the substrate to be used. If beta-galactosidase labeled antibody is used, X-gal substrate is supposed to be used. If horseradish peroxidase antibodies labeled antibody is used, then orthophenylene diamine with hydrogen peroxide is supposed to be used. If the color is developed in the solution, that indicates that the secondary antibody recognized the antigen that was already bound to the primary antibody. And the source of the primary antibody is the patient serum. That proves that the patient is producing antibody against that antigen. So this is how one can detect the antibody in a patient's serum against a particular antigen. Since the antigen is sandwiched between two antibody molecules at the FAB site, this assay is called as sandwich ELISA. Once again, the indirect ELISA as well as sandwich ELISA, both these techniques are used for the detection of allergic antibodies or allergic antigens. in the patient's serum to detect various different types of allergens and to find a remedy for the person suffering from allergic reaction. In addition, this technique also is used for detection of HIV antigen and other antigens which are found in very small quantities. Even some of the cancer antigens are recognized by ELISA technique.